Hello. Marietta back with another video. Y'all know so many seniors are struggling but cannot retire. They're struggling, they cannot retire. Can't afford to retire because their pensions are not enough to pay for the cost of living the way cost of living is today. So you'll find so many seniors that are homeless, so many seniors that are out there on the street, so many seniors that are living in fear because they do not know which way to go or what they're going to do as their bodies begin to break down. Some of them are even on a walker. I saw a lady today, y'all, while I was out moving around. She was on a walker and she was trying to put in an application at Walmart. This lady did not even know that you have to put these applications in online. So the younger Walmart employees that was already there, they were telling her that she'd had to put them in online, but she wasn't trying to understand. She just wanted a job. She said she was tired of living payday to payday, month to month, not having enough money. Once she get her pension, she just don't have enough to pay for anything. It just seems like, she's on the verge of losing her place, as many people are going through this right now in this economy, can't afford to live, getting priced out of the very place that they call home. And it's a daggone shame that so many people are struggling and cannot afford to pay their own bills. And the sad part about it is we're talking about people who have worked, people that have put in their time, who are supposed to be able to retire. When you think of retirement, as I am elderly myself, when you think of retirement, you think of the time for you to live the vida loca. You're supposed to be living your best life. You're supposed to be out on vacation. You're supposed to have enough money to go where you want to go and do what you want to do. But that is not the case for so many of our seniors this day living on Social Security, because Social Security only pays about $900 to $1,400 a month is what they pay for Social Security. So there's so many people that are not able to even live off of that type of an income. Never will you be able to rent anything in the U.S. the way the U.S. is today, the price of everything going up. So my heart really goes out to those that are out there struggling, trying to make ends meet with just a Social Security pension. I mean, it's just terrible that you're struggling and cannot retire. They're struggling and cannot retire. There's no way they're going to be able to fend for themselves, live on their own, even right down to the price of food. Now they got another problem that they got to go through. How are they going to eat? How are they going to afford to buy food in this economy? And then you look at the fact that a lot of times when you think about the elderly being out there on the street, it's just so heartbreaking. And you got people that have never lived this life, never lived the life of the poor, never know what it is to be broke, never know what it is not to eat, but they're making decisions for people at the bottom. And I remember there was a show that used to be on television, and it was called Undercover Boss. How many of y'all remember that show? I think a lot of these higher ups, a lot of these rich folks need to take a walk down memory lane and need to see what it feels like to live payday to payday. See what it feels like to be homeless and have to eat out the trash can. See what it feels like to have to live in a broke down car or RV on the side of the road. I think they need to go undercover for so many months. And I think it should be mandatory before they even enter these higher jobs that they have, before they start making decisions for people that they have not lived or taken a walk in their shoes. Because a lot of times people don't understand how you live until they begin to live like that. Then all of a sudden, maybe they can have a heart. Maybe they have some compassion. Because right now, we're dealing with some real live Grinch. The Grinches that stole Christmas. I mean, it's just getting to a place where if you don't know how I'm living, you don't know what I'm not eating because you're eating so well and you're living so well, it's time for you to take a walk down memory lane, take a walk in that person's shoes, put yourself in that person's position. And sometimes when they put themselves in your position, then they can make better decisions because they know what it is to be poor. They know what it is to wake up eating oodles and noodles and cans of corn and planning to eat beans and rice for the rest of your entire life. I mean, it's getting to a place where it's getting ridiculous. I got to laugh to keep from crying, y'all. I mean, it's a crying shame that we as American people have gotten to this point. We've gotten to this point where we have no compassion for nobody, but yet you got people that have never, ever lived this lifestyle. Because it has become a lifestyle because the poor will always be with us. The poor will always be with us. God said so. The word says so. The word teaches us that the poor will always be with us. And because the poor shall always be with us, that means we're always going to see people live in this life. We're always going to be, or it's going to be you, it's going to be me. We could be the ones tomorrow sitting on the side of the road with a sign saying I'll work for food, or with a sign saying I don't have a meal. Or I need a place to live. You never know exactly how this thing going to turn out, because right now, the way it looks, we as the American people are one paycheck away from losing it all. One paycheck away from not knowing where our next meal or where we going to lay our head, or a medical condition could take and wipe us out completely. It just gets to a place where you don't know exactly where you are in this economy. But I do know one thing: seniors are struggling to retire. They can't afford to retire. You see them all day long. You go to McDonald's, you see them at Walmart trying to get a job, standing at the door at Walmart. You see them going to Walgreens and different places trying to look for work, even at their old elderly age, where they cannot even enjoy their retirement, or there may not even be no retirement for the next generation to even get, because of the way things look and the greed that's going on in the world today. There may not be nothing to get. Y'all type in the comments if you understand what I'm talking about, as far as the elderly can't afford to retire, struggling to retirement. Struggling and cannot retire. Struggling and cannot retire. Still got bills to pay. Bills are coming down on them. That little bit of money is not keeping them in a roof over their head. And then if they got to pay for medications, then now if they got to pay for food. Even though they issued these food stamps, half of the food stamps went out. Some people say they got half. It's just disgusting the way we're living. But what else can you do? What else can you do? But once you've reached a certain age where you cannot fend for yourself, that is cruel, unusual, and cruel punishment for an elderly person to be out there on a walker, to be out there on a cane, to be out there barely making it, bent over, back hurting, where they done worked all their life, and now they're getting treated with so much disrespect as if they don't even matter. And it's heartbreaking. It's truly heartbreaking to see. And I really believe that we need to reevaluate the way we're doing things now, so that won't be you. How do you prevent that from being you? Type it in the comments. Let's have a conversation about how we're struggling and can't retire, how we're struggling to retirement, how we're struggling, but yet we don't see retirement even in the horizon. There may not be no such thing as retirement. There may be a place where they're going to try to make the elderly work until you end up in that casket. We do not know exactly what is ahead of us. But right now, one thing we do know is we're being priced out of the very country that we once loved so much. We're being priced out of this very lifestyle that we're used to, that we've come accustomed to. We're being priced out of the same American dream that we was promised. If we did what we were supposed to do, we went to school, we did it right, we get our degrees, we get a job, and you should be able to get a home, you should be able to live the American dream. Right now, it's to a place where people can't even have kids. They can't even have kids. How you going to feed them in this economy? How you going to house them in this economy? It's just so much going on. It's not just with the elderly. It's just across the board. And it's to a place where we have to continue to keep speaking about it. We have to continue to keep sharing our thoughts so that we can continue to keep uplifting, motivating, and inspire one another to be able to have some compassion when you see them out there. If you see that elderly lady out there and she's tired and she's worn and she's sitting on the side of the road, sometimes all it takes for you to sit and see if she needs a cup of coffee, say a couple of kind words, anything you possibly can do to help them get along the way. So we just got to be, sometimes you got to be somebody else's voice. You got to be somebody else's eyes, and you may have to be somebody else's ears. You may have to be the eyes that she needs to see to get across the road. We just kind of have to look out for one another in these last and evil days, because these are some trying times that we're going through. These are some perilous times that we're in right now. So before I retire for the night, I just want to let y'all know that what you do for somebody else, God will bless you and He will reward you. Don't do something for somebody else grudgingly that you expect them to pay you for it. Do it with a kind heart. Do it with a loving heart. Do it as if you're doing it unto God Himself, and your reward shall be great. I just want y'all to know that God is good all the time, and all the time God is good. I love y'all. Y'all be blessed. Y'all enjoy the rest of y'all evening. And so you're not subscribed to the channel, please consider subscribing to the channel. Hit that like button. It does help us over here. We're trying to get these numbers up. We're trying to get in the algorithm good. We need to get to 20K so that we can keep it moving. And so you have not turned on your notification bell, please turn your notification bell on so you'll be notified when I drop my next video. Y'all be blessed and have a wonderful night.